Warm regards. Today is Tuesday, October 8, 2024. This is meteorologist Ruben Garcia. At the time of recording this video, it is 8 a.m. local time in Florida, where preparations should already be completed to face Hurricane Milton, which is projected to arrive during Wednesday night and early Thursday morning. Starting tomorrow, weather conditions will begin to deteriorate across western Florida, and Hurricane Milton is expected to make landfall as a Category 3, entering between Tampa and Sarasota. It is very likely that this will be the worst hurricane to affect the region in over 100 years. In this video, we will talk about the official forecast from the National Hurricane Center, the intensity fluctuations expected to occur over the next 36 hours, and the effects anticipated, particularly in Central Florida. Here, in the visible satellite animation, we can see the circulation of Hurricane Milton, which is currently located to the north of the Yucatan Peninsula. Since last night, it has already started turning northeast, which will eventually bring it between Sarasota and the city of Tampa. Yesterday, we saw explosive strengthening, making Hurricane Milton one of the most intense hurricanes on record in the Atlantic Basin, with maximum sustained winds of 180 miles per hour. However, since last night, the hurricane has begun an eyewall replacement cycle, where the small eye it had yesterday has collapsed and is being replaced by a much larger eye. While the good news is that during this process, the hurricane has lost some intensity, currently with maximum sustained winds of 145 miles per hour, making it a Category 4 hurricane. The bad news is that during this process, the extension of tropical storm and hurricane force winds has increased, which represents a greater risk for Florida. Additionally, it is expected to strengthen again today, possibly back to a Category 5 hurricane. In the infrared satellite animation, we can see that during the night, the eye was covered by clouds, but in the latest images, we can see the eye clearing again, which signals that it is about to strengthen again. In fact, there are currently 2 Hurricane Hunter aircraft investigating this system, and they have already reported that the barometric pressure has started to drop again. Therefore, it's possible that in the next 12 hours, it will strengthen back into a Category 5 hurricane. Furthermore, no changes in trajectory occurred overnight. The models specialized in tracking continue to project that the center of circulation should make landfall early Thursday morning between Sarasota and the city of Tampa, and then maintain a path over Lakeland and Orlando before exiting into Atlantic waters. As it approaches the state of Florida, particularly during tomorrow, some wind shear and dry air will begin to affect the hurricane circulation. This should cause it to weaken over the next 48 hours, which is why it is anticipated to make landfall as a Category 3 hurricane, with maximum sustained winds between 115 to 125 miles per hour. This means that Hurricane Milton will not make landfall as a Category 5 or possibly even a Category 4 hurricane. Rather, we are looking at a Category 3 hurricane, which still represents a high risk for the region. Let's take a look at the official forecast from the National Hurricane Center. The center of circulation is projected to make landfall near or over the city of Tampa early Thursday morning, but weather conditions will begin to deteriorate from Wednesday morning. In red, you can see the hurricane warning, which extends from Fort Myers to Gainesville and Orlando. So, if you live in these counties, be aware that you will experience hurricane force winds. A tropical storm warning is also in effect for areas further north near the Florida Big Bend and for the southwestern part of the Florida Peninsula. Meanwhile, for southeastern Florida, including cities like Miami, Fort Lauderdale, and West Palm Beach, dangerous conditions are not expected. In other words, winds will remain below tropical storm strength, though some rainfall may cause localized flooding. However, if you are in Miami, Jacksonville, or Tallahassee, you can stay calm, as the worst part will remain over Central Florida. Let's zoom in on the path marked by the National Hurricane Center. You can see the center of circulation making landfall over Tampa Bay, where a historic storm surge event of 10 to 15 feet above sea level is projected, which should flood many areas bordering Tampa Bay. Extreme storm surges are also expected in Sarasota, so please, if you live along the coast, it is important to evacuate immediately and relocate safely inland. As the hurricane moves through this area, it will bring strong hurricane force winds, particularly from Sarasota to Clearwater, including Tampa, St. Petersburg, and surrounding areas of Tampa Bay, where winds over 110 miles per hour may be recorded. As it moves inland, it will begin to weaken. However, Lakeland could experience winds between 90 to 100 miles per hour, and in Kissimmee and Orlando, some winds between 70 to 80 miles per hour. If you live west of Lakeland, towards Tampa and Sarasota, please prepare for strong winds that could cause significant damage to weak structures. As I mentioned earlier, the hurricane is going through an eyewall replacement cycle, and it is possible that other processes will occur over the next 48 hours as it approaches Tampa. This has been well projected by the intensity models. For example, let's look at the evolution of the system according to this specialized intensity model. The model projects that in 24 to 36 hours, Hurricane Milton could strengthen back to a Category 5 hurricane, which would be by Wednesday morning. However, as it nears Florida, the model shows that dry air and wind shear may significantly weaken the circulation as it approaches Tampa Bay. The latest projection shows a Category 4 hurricane entering Tampa Bay early Thursday morning. Once it makes landfall, it will quickly weaken as it crosses over Lakeland, Orlando, and Kissimmee. Also, see the next animation, which projects the wind gusts expected according to the GFS model. Winds over 110 miles per hour affecting counties bordering Tampa Bay, and hurricane force winds affecting central Florida, including cities like Spring Hill, Orlando, Kissimmee, Lakeland, Tampa, Sarasota, St. Petersburg, and Deltona. So, today is the last day to protect your structure against these winds. It's important to consider that trees are very dangerous, as a falling tree can cause significant damage to your residence or vehicle. While the strongest winds will be near the center of circulation and the path of the hurricane's eye, the heaviest rainfall will be on the northern side of the circulation, affecting areas like Palm Coast, Spring Hill, Orlando, and Tampa, with some accumulations between 8 to 12 inches. The most significant flooding is expected on the northern side of the circulation, as the southern part will be quite dry, and it is in these areas where the greatest flood risk from rain exists. Another severe effect will be the storm surge, especially between Charlotte and Tampa Bay, where surges of 10 to 15 feet above sea level are expected, which could cause a historic coastal flooding event for the region, potentially breaking the record set by Hurricane Helen in recent weeks. Well, that's all for this forecast update. Here at Hurricane Info, we will continue to closely monitor Hurricane Milton and keep you informed of any changes throughout the day. In the afternoon, I will record a video to update this forecast. To make sure you don't miss any of these videos, I invite you to subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to click the bell to receive notifications when I post new videos. Well, that's all for now. I hope our followers in Florida are ready for this hurricane. Until next time.